Hey, congratulations. This is our final class in this series, class 10. You've made it. You need to really congratulate yourself for doing all of the incredible work you've done and all the changes that you've made and that processing that's going running deep within you beyond your physical awareness. I just really want to applaud you and congratulate you. If I was closer, I'd give you a great big hug because it's profound what you're doing. And as I said early in your training, is as you do your work and you heal and clear your energy field, it sends ripples into the world. So many people, you won't even know all of the people that are being affected and influenced by your energy field. So I really want to acknowledge the sacred work that you've done and the difference that you're making with your energy field. So you are a miracle maker. I just want to acknowledge your miracle making abilities and the shifts that you're taking and making. Along with that brings a huge growth period. As I've said over and over again, sound like a broken record, it's hard to see the growth period when you're in it. So I really want to encourage you, just as the class is completing, please keep your energy tools going. Please keep that energy moving because your growth period is going to continue for 4 to 6 weeks from now and maybe longer in some aspects to who you are. So it's very important. You want to just keep that energy being massaged, keep releasing the buildup of energy that you're releasing on unconscious levels and just keep it flowing. So I really encourage you to consider that and to keep practicing it, even though I'm not going to be in your hip pocket and reminding you, okay, but I will be around. So you can always reach out to me. A lot of times with growth periods, we can experience sore throats or flu like symptoms. Those are indications that energy is stuck. So in that case, you might want to get an energy clearing or keep the energy moving with a little bit more practice. As I mentioned in the introduction, I've got an exciting class for you today. We're going to look at these entities or non physical beings that might be in your space and affecting how and what you manifest in your life. So, we're going to take a look at these entities and we're also going to get access to your very own healing master that I have called in just for you. And you're going to connect into this sacred space and get some great insights and great information. And it's a powerful step up for you to embrace and work with. We know about mom and dad being entities, human beings. They are physical beings. We have siblings, we have grandparents, we have extended families, and we are familiar with those beings. But most of us are completely unaware that there could be thousands and thousands of entities and beings in the non physical realms that are affecting us. And oftentimes they plug in to our energy field and they feed off of our fear or patterns of limitations and beliefs, and they actually control us or they can affect and impact how and what we create in our life. Living in the Middle East, the Middle Eastern people are very dialed into what they call the jinn. You may have heard of genie, the jinni. And the jinn originates from a concept that we know as the genie. The genie, you polish the lantern or the bottle, and the genie comes out and grants you your three wishes. So they know these beings and these entities exist and are very real. And oftentimes they create absolute havoc in people's lives. And they're not something that they encourage for sure. And they actually avoid at all costs. The jinn is very real. I know in working with Africans and Caribbean folks, they are also very in tune with the non physical entities and how much havoc they can create in their life. We're going to explore a little bit more of that. A few weeks ago, we talked about snakes and how they can impact you. Ask yourself, what are you noticing different since we released those snakes from your space? Are you noticing yourself being able to be more in a flow? Are you able to manifest a little quicker? Are you noticing yourself less edgy, perhaps, or less agitated? And that can be some of the symptoms or results that we notice from releasing these beings. Just feeling like we have more space, more like it feels easier just being me. That's the best I can say. So when we release these beings, that just frees you up to have more access to your creative energy. To what? Create, right? So you ready to dive into this? Let's go ahead and find our space, get into that flow so that we can have some of these exciting shifts. So go ahead and settle into your chair. Go ahead and close your eyes with your feet flat on the floor. Give yourself a big, deep breath in. Breathe in again. Congratulate yourself for being here. Should be proud of yourself for all this work that you've really pushed through. Congratulations. It's very hard work. Not everybody does this work. Really, very select people do this work. So I applaud you. I honor you. You're doing really great work for yourself, for your family, and for thousands that you don't know. Thank you. So just explode some roses for some of the challenges you faced maybe over the last few weeks that you've had in your world, in your life. Just exploding roses to celebrate what you've pushed through. Maybe see fireworks through this night sky and just with your name in lights. It's exciting. So as we come into this space of our last and final class in this training series, just notice that grounding cord attached to the first chakra and secure it at the center of the earth. Activate the magnetic pull at the center of the earth and begin allowing that gravity to begin pulling out anything in your energy field that you're ready to release. Just letting go. And widen that grounding cord to meet the edge of your aura and bring in the edge of your aura to arm's distance around your body. And breathe as you adjust your frequency nice and all around you. Just exploding roses outside your aura as you're aware of your aura just letting go. It seems as when our aura is arm's distance around the body, it takes less effort to be you. It takes less effort to do whatever it is that you want to do, especially manifest. Good job. So let's look at a happiness gauge for this class, our final class. From 0 to 100%, what's your havingness to have this healing space for yourself today? And just go ahead and move that needle all the way to 100%, giving yourself that highest capacity to heal yourself. Breathe in and just exploding some roses for confusion or not knowing what's coming up or doubting yourself. Just exploding roses for confusion. And just notice those roses. Are they small little teacup roses or are they giant roses? Just having some fun with it. They could be all kinds of sizes and colors. Just giving yourself freedom to express and to play. Not having any agenda or attached expectations to this healing space. And go ahead and imagine a rose on the edge of your aura, separation rose. And just drop an essence of yourself in that rose. Maybe there's a picture of you, today's date, and then ground that rose. Being amused, drop some amusement into that rose so that everybody who looks for you finds that rose. Maybe you want to give them amusement for everybody that touches in with you. Everybody that looks for you or needs you for something, they're looking for a piece of you. So they're going to get this rose, right? And so because we take this growth period so serious and because our spiritual growth is so important, we get a lot of serious energy in it. So let's make sure we just put some amusement in there Maybe you dress yourself up in a clown's outfit, or maybe you're dressed in a French maid or an acrobat. Whatever costume or playful expression you want to demonstrate, drop that in there. Yes, we get very serious. Take this very serious. So, being that we're so serious, let's bring out a magic wand and start cleaning out the center of your head, that space that is sacred that God created just for you. Maybe you got a fun tune, whistle while you work, do, 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 do. Just cleaning out that space, center, the back, just checking in the corners, checking cobwebs, the floor, the ceiling, power wash it down, and set that space to amusement as you let all that energy just roll down, maybe opening a trap door in the center of your head, let it roll down the grounding cord. And fill in that space with a big, bright ball of golden light filled with amusement and fun, setting that space to 100% fun and play. I know our spiritual work is very serious, yes, but we can play. And when we play and raise that vibration to amusement, oh my gosh, it makes it so much easier. Good job. It's like seriousness has a real edge to it, right? Makes it heavier and harder. All right, good job. And when you get a sense that you've cleaned out the center of your head, just go ahead and blow up that rose or that magic wand outside your space. And finding a comfortable chair or seat in the center of your head, let's just say hello to that neutral earth energy. Find a place in the planet that you're in affinity with right now, and just begin directing that up through the bottoms of your feet chakras and get that energy flowing into the ankles, the calves, the knees, thighs, into your first chakra and down the grounding. And go ahead and turn up the flow of that beautiful earth energy as you experience yourself just settling into the chair and feeling more connected to Mother Earth, feeling more connected to that part of yourself. And come back to the center of your head. And above your head, imagine a big ball of cosmic energy and get that cosmic energy flowing into the top of your head, opening the crown chakra to only 12% open. Let that roll down the back of your head, come down the back channels, come all the way down to the base of your spine. Let maybe 20% of that energy go down the grounding. And the remaining energy is going to mix with the earth energy in the first chakra, and it spins the chakra. Ask yourself, what color roses can you explode in front of the first chakra? Allow the cosmic and earth energy to move up to the second chakra and spin the chakra. What colors do you want to explode in front and back of the second chakra? Coming up to the third chakra, the solar plexus, spin the chakra. Explode roses in the front and the back of the third chakra. Moving up to the fourth chakra, the heart center, spin the chakra. Explode roses in the front and the back of the fourth chakra. Moving up to the fifth chakra, the base of your throat. Spin the chakra. Explode roses in the front and the back as you see this energy split, and one third of the energy is going to go down your arm channels. Explode roses around your palms, up and down your arms, the back of the neck. Whatever colors come to your mind. Moving up into the sixth chakra behind the eyes, in the center of the forehead. Spin the chakra. Explode roses in the front and the back of the sixth chakra. As the energy fountains out the top of the head, explode roses around your head and spin the chakra. It just looks so incredibly beautiful. Good job. Ask yourself, what's your wellness color for today? You might look at a rose out in front of you, and what color comes to mind for your overall wellness today? And you can go ahead and let that color begin running through your channels, through the cosmic and the earth channels. Allow that wellness color to reset your space. Now we're going to set your crown chakra to pale pink and gold. Gold is the highest vibration that our body can contain for an extended amount of time. And just notice how quiet your body space is now as you reset your energy. I don't want you to zone out and get too spiritual on me, so keep breathing. Breathe in, let it out. Let's explode some roses for all the activities that you did last week. And just turn up that cosmic and earth energy flow. Just exploding roses for all your weekend activities or events that you've attended. All the busyness, just exploding roses for all that as you release that energy. And ask yourself, sitting in the center of your head, looking on your screen, ask yourself, what gemstone of the earth is a match or vibrational match for you today? Is it citrine or topaz, ruby or emerald, sapphire, smoky quartz, opal, rose quartz? What comes to mind? Whatever vibration or mineral that comes to your mind or that you see in front of you, go ahead and let that frequency run through your channels and just notice how that feels different to you. So, this is an example of how we can use the vibration and the frequency of minerals to heal ourselves. Don't have to spend a fortune on amethyst geodes or have beautiful crystals all over the place. I love them, don't get me wrong, but you don't need to schlep them. You don't need to hang on to them. They're your friends. Yes, they can help you, but you can also do this at a higher frequency at a cellular level, running the energy through your channels. So if that vibration for what you're running right now doesn't quite feel right, feel free to change it. Is it topaz, or maybe you want to shift it to diamond? Change it up. You can even make a blend. Maybe you have topaz and amethyst. There's no rule. We're just playing and experiencing. Good job. Now we're going to turn down the chakras, turning down the first chakra to 10% open, turning down the second chakra to 10% open, and turn the third chakra down to 70% open if you're in a female body, and male bodies turn it down to 50% open. As I mentioned today, we're going to connect with your healing guide. It's a very special one. So there's a lot of different ways to connect with your spirit team. And some of you may have already done some of this work. Maybe you're loosely connected. Maybe you want to know and have a better relationship with your guide. Basically, we all have spirit guides or beings or souls that have previously incarnated here on earth. Some of them have never incarnated, they're in spirit. But we all have at least one guide. Some people have hundreds of them. I often refer to my main guide as my healing master. And I rely on my healing master quite often. And in fact, you may have had the benefit of having my healing master come your way over the last number of weeks. It's usually a profound shift in a very short amount of time. So I'm excited that you're going to have your own healing master and you get to play and treat friends and family to your healings. And of course, yourself. Being that we have a variety of guides that might be here to support us on our path, it's important for us to get to know them and to start working with them, building a relationship with them, a line of communication so that you realize they truly are here and you have a profound connection. They become your new BFF. It is a process of developing this communication and also trusting it, just like trusting what you're seeing. It's important to note that these beings are here to help us only when they're asked. They may nudge us down a particular path or to be aware of something, but they can't interfere or do something without our request. You may have called on particular angels or your own spirit guides, but you didn't know what they're here to help you with. In today's class, we're going to explore our healing master and understand what they're here to help us with and how to work with them specifically. So keep that earth and cosmic energy flowing, running that vibration of the mineral through your channels. Some of the key points that I want to focus on is one, to stay curious and to stay present, being aware of what your healing master is doing and your communication with him or her. Realize that your healing team or your spirit team is here with you all the time, but they're in the background. So they're not exactly visible to you. They're not really front row and center of your awareness for the most part. They're here to guide you, help you, assist you. There are no rules, but basically, it's important for you to realize that you do have a team and you do have an angel and or guides with you all the time. Working with your healing master is as simple as thinking about what your needs are and they pick up your thoughts. It's not necessary that you have a physical conversation, although I have been known to talk to my healing master and have experiences and many of my students also express that. They are very sympathetic to what it means to be human. They are here to help you. They're extremely receptive. It's usually us that's not so receptive. In terms of connecting with your healing master, the first step is really just having the intent to connect, being able to access them on a regular basis and continually connecting with them, building up that relationship, not only anchors the foundation for you and your healing master, but you become more familiar with it. You feel and trust it more, and it becomes even more profound. You have to call on them You have to request, even if it's just a thought, that you are looking for this support. They are not just going to do things that are unrequested. And the other most important thing is that we always want to thank them for their wisdom, their guidance, their support, the healing, and the generosity. Your fifth, sixth, and seventh chakras are key and integral parts to you being able to communicate with your healing master. So the fifth chakra helps you to hear them. The sixth chakra helps you to see them or receive images or pictures. And the seventh chakra helps you to know and to connect with the divine. These chakras help you to hear them clearly, to communicate effectively, and to be able to respond accordingly to what they may give you some insights and some information. So, are you ready to jump in? Just breathe. Yeah, I see you're getting all excited. Check in on that earth and cosmic energy. Make sure that gemstone energy is still running through your channels. Maybe there's a different gemstone that you want to experience. Just notice how that feels in the body, in your space. Maybe try a rose quartz with a little gold running through it. There you go. See how that feels in your body. Can you think of a time when you connected with an angel or a guide, or you asked for some help and you received it? Maybe there's a situation that sticks in your mind. I know I was threading a needle the other day, and the thread was so thick and not going through the eye of the needle. And when I struggle with something like that's difficult, I always call on my healing master. And so within a second, it's like the second attempt for the thread to go through, boom, there was my healing master. Another time I couldn't reach something on the top shelf and I was struggling and jumping. And then I asked my healing master to help me with that. And boom, I got the boost I needed to touch and bring down I think it was a blanket. And the other thing I do oftentimes is if I'm struggling with the clasp on a necklace, I often ask my healing master, and boom, the clasp is connected. So I play and I ask for help with all kinds of things. And so I'm encouraging you to learn and connect and play with your guide and your healing master in your way too. So here we go. We're going to dive in to this space. Give yourself another big breath in. And imagine behind you is a platform. It's about 10 feet behind you. It could be a raised pedestal or a stage. And just ground this platform. We're calling in your healing master. I've already mentioned that I've assigned you a healing master. Just ask him or her to make their presence known to you on the platform 10 feet behind you. We're simply grounding that platform, giving it a giant grounding cord, and allowing your healing master, the vibration that they have is much higher. So that grounding in the platform helps them to step down their frequency so that we can connect, so we can match and communicate with them. Their vibration is usually much, much higher. And that's partly some of the times the reason why we don't connect with them. If you've ever tried to call somebody on the phone and the signal is fuzzy or the line breaks, that's exactly what happens when we're trying to communicate with spirit and we can't get through. We're grounding this space so that they can match that frequency, so that we can have this human interaction. This is energy, it's like a transformer energy. It's not lowering it as in negatively, it's just reducing the frequency so that we can have the signal connection. So as you ask and invite them into that platform, just get a sense that someone is standing behind you. And see if there's a name or an awareness of that presence. Who are they? Sometimes this is extremely subtle to start with. If you haven't done this before, you may get a name immediately. Usually, the first name that comes into your mind is correct. You might want to write it down. Sometimes it's a symbol because some of these beings don't have names that we can pronounce or spell. So if you get a name, great. If you get a symbol, that's fine too. You might even hear gobbledygook that you can't translate. Just notice what you notice. If you don't get the name right away, don't struggle or resist it. It's okay. And now ask your healing master to come around in front of you. And we're going to ground a spot 6 feet in front of you. And just invite your healing master to come around and stand 6 feet in front of you. So that you can take a look at your healing master. Get a sense of their presence. What do they look like? Can you really see them? Or are they blurry? Are they looking old or tired? If they are, just go ahead and hook them up to the Supreme Being. When we hook them up to the Supreme Being and bring them into present time, they can match our frequency here in present time. If you didn't get the name before, ask them their name again now. Ask them what their purpose is for you. What are they here to help you with in terms of healing yourself? As we first brought them in, we grounded them behind us, and then they came out in front of us and we grounded them. And we're doing this, we're not asking them to plug into us yet. They're standing 6 feet in front of us. We're not inviting them into the space yet. And now invite them to plug into the backs of your hands. That's the only place that they're permitted to plug into you. And feel the difference as they plug into your hands. Your hands feel warm or cold. Maybe you feel a tingling. This being, this healing master, does not have permission to take over your life or your body or your space, as you've been spending an awful lot of time clearing it. So we're not giving it permission to take over. Make sure your healing master understands this and agrees. As they plug into your hands, allow your healing master to give you a healing. Ask them to heal and balance your chakras. Ask them to heal and clear your aura, healing any holes or any cords that might be in your space. If there's any cords that need to be removed, ask them to remove them. If there's any tears, ask them to repair them. The healing can take place in a blink of an eye. It may be hard for you to follow your healing master. You might not know what's going on, or you may get a glimmer. It's all okay. Just notice how it feels. This time you're the observer. You can also watch on your reading screen and just observe as the healing master gives you impressions on what he's healing or she is healing. When you get a sense that your healing master's complete with the healing, go ahead and ask them to step back on the platform 6 feet in front of you. And as they step back on this platform, have them unplug from your hands and pull all their energy with them. And when you get the sense that your healing master has pulled out all of their energy, have them return to the platform 10 feet behind you. And then you can tell them goodbye. Sometimes I simply unplug the grounding cord from the platform behind me, and then they just fade away or dissolve. And let them know how grateful you are for your healing and thanking them for the support, for the connection, and the wisdom that you received. And above your head, imagine a big ball of golden light. And allow this golden ball of light, this magnetic brilliance, begin calling back and reclaiming your energy from people and places, situations, events, places you've traveled to. Reclaim your energy from others, family members, children, partners, pets. Let that golden ball of light call your energy back from every place on the planet that you're ready to reclaim your energy. Call it back from in-laws and outlaws. Call back your energy from coworkers and employers, business partners, colleagues. As this sun gets bigger and brighter, radiant, have it begin pouring down into your energy field, triggering and activating parts of you, your awareness to newer, greater heights, aligning with the magnificence of who you are. This incredible light, this incredible love and beauty. As you bask in this wonderment, this incredible, fulfilling golden light completely activates deep, dormant cellular memory, triggering and embodying the cells. Notice how that feels in your physical body. And allow the energy, that incredibly golden, shimmering light, to expand, filling your aura and the grounding cord. This is truly powerful and super fantastic. Let's look at a rose out in front of you for where you were when you began this journey 9 weeks ago. Look at the rose that represents you on your path for the life mastery energy healing. How does that rose look? And alongside of it, create another rose that represents you today in this moment, class 10. And notice the difference between the two roses. And make note of that in your note so that we can talk about that. Looking at those roses, ask yourself, what's the biggest shift that you've made to this point in your physical body? What's the biggest shift you've made with regards to the physical? And make note of that. And ask yourself, what's the biggest shift that you've made to this point with regards to your mind, the mental part of who you are? Make note of that and ask yourself, what is the biggest shift you've made with regards to your energy or your spirit that you've made to this point? And taking a look now at a rose that represents what's the biggest shift you've made to this point with regards to emotions? Asking the roses, was stress controlling you? Or is stress still controlling you? How are you speaking up for yourself? How are you able to express yourself? What was your energy like when you first started? Was it unpredictable? Was it flip flopping? Was it vague? Was it shriveled? What does it look like? And then with regarding to the mind, was your mind like a ping pong ball? Were you unable to rein it in? Do you find yourself going down long rabbit holes, getting confused or overwhelmed? Have you been able to catch yourself with negative thinking? Have you been able to replace negative thoughts with positive thoughts or positive opportunities, expressions? Where were you most blocked with your flow when you first started? And where are you at now with that? Hey, we're a work in progress. It's okay. Wherever you're at, awesome. Because the best is yet to come. Sometimes we're solid and we can focus that monkey mind of ours, and other times not so much. But just know you've got these powerful tools to get back on track. Yeah. Congratulations. That's really amazing. Are you saying nice things to yourself now? Looking at those two roses? Is the present time rose more loving and kind and patient with yourself? Do you finally see light at the end of the tunnel and feeling hopeful compared to when you first started? Is it more energized, more enthusiastic? Wow, pretty awesome. I got one of the most incredible compliments from one of my German clients a number of years ago who just said that these quantum energy tools were the absolute best thing that they had come across, and they had experienced a lot of different training modalities and different ways of approaching that these are the most efficient processing tools. So sure hope that you're realizing that they are pretty efficient and powerful. So I used to say to the gals in Dubai, if you realize the power of these tools, you'd treat them like a Gucci purse and value it. So they truly are like magic wands, and they're at your beck and call just with a blink of an eye. So you just have to recall them. You just have to apply them, and they'll be there for you. As you listen to your guides and you ask your guides questions, they might even direct you how to use the tools in new ways. So it can be very exciting. One of my healing master is the Cryon. You may have heard of Cryon. There's a channel out of Del Mar, California, where I used to live. His name is Lee Carroll, and he started channeling Cryon way back in the 90s. And when I first got my healing master and Cryon came to me, and I'm like, geez, am I making this up? Because I heard of Lee Carroll, but no, Cryon has been with me ever since. It's very powerful healing. Maybe you've had the benefit of or receiving some healing from Cryon, and it's very powerful, very fast, and very intense. And there's another guide that I work with, and I feel like they're Arcturian, and their energy is not so much in the body form. Even Cryon, I don't really see a body or a face. It's just a vibration that I just know it is. And the Arcturian energy, I see blue. Sometimes I see a blue orb. Sometimes I just see a blue face. So I call them blue. It seems to be a collective of energies that is working with me. I call it singular, but really it's a bigger group of energies. Yeah. It's just such an honor for me, and I'm just so grateful that you're here doing all of this work for yourself. It is an immense contribution to humanity and to the world of spirit. So I just want to thank you for all of that. And as we come together with our healing masters, there's just so much power and healing that we do together as a group, as a collective. It's pretty incredible. For all of you healers in the group who just want to heal the world and make everything better, you couldn't be doing anything more important than healing yourself. And now, working with your healing master, you can easily send your healing master to special events or parts of the world that had a tsunami or earthquake. Instead of sending your energy there, you can send your healing master and do some profound work with that. I think you'll discover the incredible power of your healing master with time. You'll be amazed, as I am continually amazed, as I practice being neutral and trusting my healing master's got this. Now bring your awareness back to your body and just tune into that space that surrounds your body, your aura, and with your back straight in the chair and your feet flat on the floor, go ahead and take a deep breath in and close your eyes. Say hello to your grounding cord. Is it still there? If not, go ahead and create a brand new present time one. Notice your resilience. Notice your ability to keep your grounding cord. Notice your ability to quickly come into the center of your head and find your space. Our grounding tool was the first tool we learned. Just notice what's different for you and your grounding, your ability to stay present. How does your body feel being grounded? Can you quickly imagine tree roots completely connecting into the earth? And how does that feel? With another breath in, go ahead and say hello to that earth energy. Begin flowing earth energy. through the bottoms of your feet one more time, coming through the entire earth channels, quickly turning that on, and say hello to that cosmic energy and get that flowing, being aware at how quick you're able to have the energy begin flowing. And just notice, is the rose on the edge of your aura still there? You can make a nice big wide rose with your name in it and today's date, and bring your awareness to your crown chakra, to that wellness color again. Just tuning in, it might be different. If it's the same, no problem. And then have that wellness color run through your channels. And you might want to add, or maybe you prefer, that mineral that you chose earlier, the earth mineral. Maybe it's a quartz or amethyst, a citrine, or tourmaline, whatever comes to your mind. As we play with these energies, notice yourself adding some amusement to that mineral and that flow. Sometimes, as we come to this point, we can get or feel a little heaviness based on what's coming up. And I'm just going to ask you, as you're running that energy, if you think that you are living your life, and what comes to mind? Are you living your life? And make sure you make note of that. Or are you affected by foreign energies or entities? Just continue allowing the earth and cosmic energy to keep running with that mineral vibration. I'm going to share with you a fun story. I was with a friend. We were up in Mount Shasta and we entered a nature trail. And we were getting our things out of the trunk. And I was trying to decide what I should take, a big backpack or something smaller. I debated back and forth and what to do. I thought, I don't really need to take my wallet with me, so I left it in the trunk. And I just grabbed the backpack with my camera and some. So we closed the trunk. And so we started to walk on the trail. It was strange because as we were walking along, I just felt like there was somebody following us. And I turned around and there was nobody. So we continued to walk and then I could feel it again. And we turned around and there was nobody. I did this several times. Have you ever felt that like that when you're walking along and you just sense somebody behind you? And you turn around and that's the natural response, right? But in this case, there was nobody there. It was a sense that there was somebody that was really happy following me. I was super happy to be up in nature and I had done a lot of meditating all week. And so I was in a really positive vibe. When I felt the presence again behind me, I turned around once again. Again, there was nobody there. So I said, "Who is this? Who are you?" And I sensed that there were these little people like gnomes, like in from the movie Lord of the Rings. And I thought, I'm going to tell them that no harm. I'm just coming here to enjoy the nature and that then I'd be leaving. They just kept following us. And they were playing and giggling and they were quite amused, little guys. And I just thought, gee, this is strange. Maybe they're just amused at how amused I was. So this walk was in September, and the trees were just beautiful, bright oranges and reds up in Northern California. And everything seemed really vivid and crisp. The air was becoming cooler, and yet it was bright and sunny on that day. And so as we progressed along our path, my friend leaned over this barricade on the edge of the road. She had her sunglasses on the top of her head, and the sunglasses went falling down way down below this great cavern and lots of boulders and trees. And I, in my mind, thought, okay, you can kiss those glasses goodbye. We're not ever getting them. They're lost. It's a gift to the forest. But my friend kept saying, I'm going to go find them. And I'm thinking, oh, are you kidding? I thought to myself, no way. This is too dangerous and too risky. There's no cell service this far out. And if anything happens, we're in big trouble. But then I said to her, maybe on our way back, we can check along the riverbank and see if there's a smoother, more gradual approach to getting to your glasses. But in my mind, I thought, I don't think so." We continued to walk, and I continued to engage with these little people. Then I thought, you know what? I'm going to ask them if they can help us get the glasses back. And they told me that they wanted me to pay them money. They wanted my money. And I told them, I'm sorry. And this was a dialogue in my head. I'm sorry I don't have the money. I left my wallet in the car. And so all I knew was I had some little colored stones like carnelian and maybe some quartz in the pouch of my backpack. So I said to them, I didn't have any money, but I could pay them with my colorful stones. And I told them, I said, I'm happy to pay you, but the only thing I can pay is with these small pebbles. We had our little lunch and then we made our way back after we meditated for a while. And we were walking along. The stream is, the brush is getting thicker and thicker, and there's bigger and bigger boulders on the path. I came to a point where there was boulders way too big for me to climb. And my friend started climbing this big old boulder. And I'm like, are you kidding me? She was going to look for her glasses. I said to her, oh my gosh, this is really dangerous. Really, you got to be really careful. I decided I'm going to stay here and I'm meditating and I was holding the space for her to climb safely over those boulders and to reach the height of where her glasses were. And the whole time, I'm a little bit unnerved because this was highly risky in my mind. She wasn't a climber. That's the thing. She was a skinny woman and she just didn't seem to have the strength. So I'm meditating and I'm talking to the gnomes and I'm asking the gnomes to please help her, to help her reach her glasses safely and that I would pay them. Then all of a sudden, I hear them laughing in my mind's eye. And they're chuckling, they're rolling around, they're having so much fun. And I open my eyes and I look down, and just to my right, there was a little bed of leaves under this rock that had an overhang on it. And just underneath that overhang were a pair of reading glasses with gold rims on them. I swear, I was like, what? They're laughing because they brought these glasses to me. And I said, no, these are not the glasses that I want. And they were feeling like they were so full of themselves. They were so proud. They brought me to these glasses, but they were the wrong glasses. So they were tricking me, right? And anyway, I was just flabbergasted. They were completely folded, nice and neat, placed under this overhang of the rock. And I was amused, but I was shocked and I couldn't even believe my eyes that I was seeing these glasses. And the whole time they were thinking, whoa, this is the most hilarious thing. And they're laughing, they're slapping their leg and they're rolling. It was just truly hilarious. And I said to them, now don't think you're going to trick me. I want the sunglasses that my friend dropped off her head down the ravine. So I want you to help her. And I'm not going to pay you until she comes back safe with those sunglasses in her hand. Then I heard this faint voice that says, I found them, I got them. And I'm smiling in my mind, thinking, okay, she's got them. Now you need to help her get back here safely. All right. And then I'll pay you. She makes it all the way back. She climbs these giant boulders and she comes back with her sunglasses. And she starts telling me the story that she says, you can't believe this. There was this very tall ledge that I could see my sunglasses. I couldn't quite reach the top of the ledge. And she said it was almost as if out of nowhere, I had this push that just pushed me up to the ledge and grabbed the glasses. Then I started telling her the story how I was negotiating with the gnomes and that I would pay them if she got back safely with the sunglasses. And I showed her these little gold glasses, reading glasses that they gave to me. Anyways, we started making our way back and it was shocking, the whole experience. So I go in my bag and I'm finding these little rocks to give to the gnomes that I had promised them. But then it was as if I looked into this small little pocket and there were 5 copper pennies in that bag. Now, I had been to Ireland back in 2005, and I remember the Irish telling us that oftentimes the leprechauns and the fairies, they want money, but these copper pieces are like gold to them. So that's what they were talking about to me the whole time is they wanted my gold, which was not gold, it's pennies. And I found it fascinating too that they gave me these gold rimmed reading glasses. So I'm telling you this story. It was a very real experience for me with the gnomes and the fairies. And so now when I go to my garden or I'm in the forest, I'm always communicating with them. I always take pennies if I can, and I fling them when nobody's watching out into the brush. And yeah, so that's my little game with the little people. And they will help you. They will help you in different ways in your life. But there's other beings and they're not all so friendly and they're not all so helpful. And they do play tricks on us. I remember there was a time in Ireland where all of a sudden we rolled into this town. I think it was Donegal and on the west side of the island. And all of a sudden our car started making this big loud racket, clank, clank. We're coming through Main Street and everybody was looking. It was just a horrible noise. We were all just really feeling uneasy. Turns out that we were stuck there. There was some holiday and the mechanic shop to look at our car wasn't available, it wasn't open. So we ended up having fights and arguments. There was four of us traveling together. All this stress and difficulty started happening. And then Monday morning comes and we roll into the garage and it turns out that there were four bolts on the tire, the wheel that had come loose and they were clankety clanking inside the hubcap. And so that was like, oh my God, those little buggers, they loosened the bolts because how could just two bolts come off? It was crazy. And by the way, we had done a house exchange. So we were using somebody else's car. It wasn't even ours. So we were really stressed out the whole weekend. And anyway, it was just a really quick, simple fix. And we were back on the road again. So you'd be surprised at how these little tricksters come into our life and how they can affect us because they definitely affected us. We were all arguing and it wasn't a pleasant time to be together with those ladies. I'm not here to talk about gnomes per se, but just bring your awareness to other beings and entities. And I'm sure you've got some stories of your own that I would love to hear when we have our one-to-one. So make sure you write it down or think about it and don't forget to talk to me. So just tune in to see if that gemstone energy is running through your energy channels, that cosmic and earth channels. We're here learning. We're like little babies, kindergartners. And this is our psychic kindergarten. We're learning about the unseen world as we are healing ourselves and as we start to understand the nuances of all these energies that come into play when we want to be able to manifest something. Wondering why it works sometimes and wondering why it doesn't work other times. Complicated, right? It's complicated. From the time we're born, we're matching energy from our mother's womb. Then we match our father and our siblings and friends and teachers, and it goes on and on. We're continually matching the frequency in whatever environment we find ourselves, our culture, our religions, society, wherever that is. What we think is solid, we've come to believe or think it's solid. But this desk that I'm sitting next to here is not solid. It's only our perception of it being solid. So as you become more aware of the nuances and the subtleties of the energy, you will start to understand and develop an awareness for some of these unseen energies that will really stretch your mind and your imagination as we stretch beyond the patterns of limitation to incorporate bigger, more expansive perception. As we start recognizing other activities that are happening around us, we become aware of other entities that exist. I know in the Arab world, they're very familiar with the jinn, spelled D-J-I-N-N. You've heard of genie. Remember rubbing the magic lantern? A genie will pop out and you get three wishes. That's the genie. That's the jinn. I've worked with clients that had these incredible abilities to make money. And I remember this one gentleman exactly. He sold his soul. He actually went to a hypnotist and wanted a being to come into his life, into his body, to take over that would guarantee millions and millions of dollars. But at the same time, the jinn owned his soul, and he was very aware of it. So that's basically an example of what can happen, that they take over your life path and your purpose. And basically, you are creating karma through this being that may or may not be supporting you in your spiritual growth. Oh, and the indigenous culture, they know these beings and entities, spirit beings. Indians from India, they're attuned to multi deity religion. There's all kinds of beings and deities that they pray to. Maybe this will come more alive to you now and make yourself and help you realize that perhaps these Egyptian deities or Indian deities are real. They're real entities. Just this being here, Sekhmet, I never thought of these Egyptian deities as living beings. And it wasn't until I was immersed in Egypt and then had my near death experience that they actually began speaking to me. And Sekhmet is one of my guides that comes to me and helps me and works with me, and she's a powerful healer. So we're very familiar with angels in our culture, and those don't seem to frighten us because maybe they've been painted that glorious image. But there are fallen angels, as we know them as demons or the devil. And so Lucifer is a very real being as well. Just like we talked about the snake beings, those would be lower level entities, perhaps something like Lucifer or that dark deity that would control or invade your space and occupy, or squatter beings that are just taking up space and living on your life force energy. Personally, I don't really like those beings in my face or living off my juice, right? You're working so hard to keep your energy clear and move out things that aren't supporting you. This is the last darn thing that we need to sabotage our creations. There's people that are extremely manipulative in life, and maybe somebody in your own life that they're just always conniving and manipulating things to their benefit. And they are truthfully trying to control every aspect of life. But the truth is, it's not them that's in control. There's a being or an entity that has got control of them. Maybe they've made an agreement with that being to give them a certain level of power or confidence or authority in order for the being to live on their energy. Also, the beings will control behaviors and also control your body. Maybe you've noticed if you've had a drink or two or too many, then you've noticed your personality completely changes. Years ago, I discovered that about myself with hard liquor, and I completely turned into another person. And what I didn't know is it was like there's a revolving door in my crown chakra. Basically, I opened up a portal and those beings come on in and the party's on, right? And I am very entertaining, by the way. But there can be a flick of a switch and I could just turn into this gnarly, nasty being. And so what I realized was I was inviting these beings into my space through hard liquor. Now, over the years, I've done a lot of cleansing, but that doesn't mean those beings still can't be maneuvering and hiding in little pockets of energy or interdimensionally. And soon as something comes in, if we're afraid or if we slip or we forget if we forget our tools, whatever it might be, they can plug right in again. That's one of the reasons that I left behind going to bars. I'll go to a restaurant where there's a sidebar, maybe, but selectively choosing the environments you attend or visit because they will definitely impact you in different ways. I'm sure you've experienced something like that yourself. Basically, these entities, wherever or whatever they are, they're looking for a weakness or an opening, a portal in your energy field. So wherever there's a picture or some energy that can be stuck, or a belief system perhaps that you're not good enough or you're not confident enough or that you're not strong enough, then they will come into the space. It's all these low energy points in our energy field that work as magnets to these types of entities. Just like our energy field is attracting the things that we want, it's also attracting and inviting unwelcome guests or invaders. For the last 9 weeks, we've been clearing out family and friends and siblings, parents' energy. You've been doing amazing, amazing work. Simple reason we're doing this is so that we can have more space, more room for our own energetic superpower and create more of what we want. So now what we're doing is we're cranking this awareness up and we're going to clear some beings and entities that have infiltrated or got through the cracks, or when you weren't looking, they popped into your space. Like I said, people that are heavy drinkers or do drugs of any kind, they can even come in on prescription drugs. So the way I typically see it is these beings will infiltrate our space. Usually they come in through the crown chakra, but that's not exclusive. If we're doing drugs or alcohol, we're opening up a portal and there's maybe a crack or an opening for these to come in and they plug into our space. And you can get sober and feel good the next day, but that doesn't mean they've left, right? They don't necessarily unplug. They're still feeding on certain energies that, yeah, unconsciously keep them plugged in. So another example of ADHD or people with attention deficit are like schizophrenics in a way. There's basically a portal or there's some energy blocks that's not allowing them to be present. And all this energy is just flipping by and it's out of control. And that's another thing that works as a magnet for these energy beings. And these beings definitely will cause things like behavioral challenges, obsessive compulsive, not being able to sleep, eating too much, or being addicted to food, or even bulimia. So it can work at any extreme. There's no limits, okay? Keep in mind, the truth is, we do have seniority over these beings. I'm sure a lot of you are all pretty lit up, right? You're lit up right now like a Christmas tree. But what I mean by that is that you get to have control and you can have your space back. You are the one that gets to release these beings from your space so that you can complete and fulfill your karma or fulfill your destiny and soul's path. For instance, you may find all of a sudden during the day you're good, and then all of a sudden you start feeling really anxious. Maybe you got a glimpse of some TV show, or maybe you purchased something at the grocery store and there was some bad vibes and you just turn into this little grizzly bear. That's an example of a being just plugged right into you. Go, hey, let's screw her up for a while. Yeah. It can cause chemical imbalances. It could cause physical ailments. I was recalling a time when I had an agreement with a photographer and I was going to do some energy clearings for her. And we agreed she was going to shoot 6 rolls of film and I was going to give her 3 sessions. So the 6 rolls of film was going to take more than 3 hours, whereas my healing work was 3 hours. Anyway, she decided she wasn't going to do 6 rolls. We did, I think, 2.5. And then okay, I won't give the 3 sessions. Because of that, she got pissed at me. She wanted more sessions, even though she wasn't going to shoot more film. Long story short, I pulled back my energy, but she decided she wanted what she wanted. All of a sudden, one day, I just had this incredible abdominal cramps and I couldn't figure out what the heck. I was bent over and I was vomiting and I was in such pain. I laid down probably an hour and I was hot, and cold, and sweaty and just it was a real touch and go moment for me. And I was laying there looking at the energy, like, where the hell did this come from? And I could literally see her energy. And it was because she wanted what she wanted. And unbeknownst to her, she didn't know she was doing that. But there's an example of a human entity, a human being. Her energy came into my space. And thank God I had tools to clear it out. You know, whether it's a non physical being, whether it's a being that's never incarnated, or a being like that, we get to remove these energies with our tools. We get to have choice and we have the responsibility to keep our energy field clear. Now that you know this, there's no going back. As a spiritual aspirant, you are senior to this space. As I said, you created this physical body as a spiritual being to incarnate into, to have these experiences. And your body in your space is for you and you only. Have you ever looked at somebody and maybe it's like with dim light and notice their face changing. It's especially fun to do around a campfire or when you're sitting in candlelight or you're just calmly sitting at dinner, let's say, and the light is dim. You can literally see sometimes people's faces flipping, and it's almost like they're showing you different lifetimes or beings that are present time in their space. So that's cool when you just relax like that and you can see their faces literally change. You might see their personality change with that change of appearance. For some people, that can feel pretty scary, right? Especially when you see a scary face. What happens is these beings or changes occur based on a picture or a memory. Taking a picture of something, you get a snapshot, right? It's an image, and that's what is stuck in your energy field. There's an image of a memory of a time, of a person, something that's stuck. And that is usually what is the doorway or the key that allows a being entity to come into your space. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at our energy field for any pictures where beings can come in on. And we're going to engage with our healing master to heal those pictures and move the beings out. With the rose on the edge of your aura, go ahead and just close your eyes if you've opened them, checking into your space. With that rose on the edge of your aura, drop an essence of yourself in that space. Just a reminder tool to stay in your space, stay present. Ground that rose and just tuning in to see if you've got the gemstone energy running through your channels. Whatever gemstone is appropriate for you now. Go ahead and turn down the first chakra to 10% open. Second chakra, 10% open. And third chakra, 70% open if you're in the female body, and 50% open if you're in the male body. And why we leave the female open more is because the female body uses more creative energy in various parts. Looking on the screen out in front of you, just ground that reading screen. Give it a grounding cord. And just notice if it's changed as you give it a grounding cord. And just go ahead and look at a picture of yourself on that reading screen, sitting in your chair. Maybe you see your aura around your body. We're going to look for in the aura to see if there's any pictures, snapshots, or impressions of memories, for instance, that are lit up. And what's helpful is if we toss a ball of purple energy towards that chakra person up there on your screen, just have that purple energy show you, illuminate where there's some energy that you need to do some healing on. Just notice where it is. And with your awareness on your aura, just imagine grounding a space 10 feet behind you, a platform. You can look on your reading screen as we do this, or you can just imagine the grounded platform behind you. Grounding that platform, ask your healing master to come into that space. You can call him in by name or her if you have a name, otherwise, just acknowledge his presence. If you don't get a physical sense of a presence, imagine a ball of light or a bubble. And just grounding that space is often helpful to get an image in your mind. But keep in mind, it's not uncommon where people take a few weeks before they get the image or the name of their healing master. So if it's not coming right now, that's okay. Just relax with it. And now ask your healing master to come 6 feet in front of you into a grounded space where you can say hello to them. Saying hello to them and asking them to plug into the back of your hands. We don't want them plugging into the back of the throat. Sometimes, if you notice a scratchy throat or hoarseness, some beings are plugging into that space, into your throat. We want to bring them into the backs of our hands. That way, you will know when they come in and you feel them plug in, and you will feel them leave. There's a big difference. We're inviting them in to do some specific work. We're not allowing them to take over. And so we are inviting this healing master for a very specific purpose. And I have to say, this is pretty advanced work. So congratulations. You're doing awesome. Now ask your healing master to go through your entire aura, collecting up any of those purple blotches or pictures maybe you haven't noticed or seen, or any energies that have been affecting you, that have been destroying your creations. Maybe it's a creation for perfect health or harmony within your family. Or maybe there's beings or entities that are destroying your ability to have more abundance. Or maybe affecting your ability to be clear on what direction you want to take. Just allow your healing master to just take over, completely trusting that he's going to remove the energy that where you're being controlled by an entity. As you watch out in front of you or get a sense, maybe you recall a certain memory, or maybe there's a certain feeling that's coming up that's been repeating itself. Recently, I had one of my students share with me that every time she goes to spend time with family, they push her buttons. Have you ever had that certain person in your family push buttons? Could it be that there's an entity that's allowing that to get fired up? Just have your healing master collect all and any of those energies that you're ready to release. You don't have to think about it, just trust. You may not even feel anything. It's okay. Just notice what you notice. And just notice if your healing master is deleting any beings, evaporating them, reducing them to dust. There's beings that feed off your light and your magnetism. They thrive on our fear, and they grow big and bigger and stronger with pain. That's very real. And we're not going to stay stuck in fear, are we? We're not going to let that dominate us or allow them to feed and get bigger. It's our place of love and light to create in the world. So instead of being this Xenia the warrior princess or just this swashbuckling light warrior here, just allow yourself to be amused. I know this is a serious topic. I get it. You might even be nodding off and not stay present. That's okay. Just allow your healing master to do all the work and notice what you notice. And when you get a sense that he has completely finished, Allow him to come back 6 feet in front of you and unplug from your hands and ask him to return to the platform 10 feet behind you and thank your healing master. Thank him for enlightening you and healing you, illuminating what he was working on. Tell him you'll see him or her soon. It could be an angel, could be a being that has not a he or she. But this is an opportunity for you to work with your healing master and become more familiar and be acquainted. I call on my healing master all the time. When I can't do up a necklace in the back or the clasp is super small, I call on my healing master and just like that, I'll catch the clasp. The other day I was threading a needle and it was too fat, the thread for the needle eye. So it just after I'm like struggling with it a bit, and then it went, oh, okay, my healing master. Then boom, it went right through. Yeah. Sometimes I'm looking for a solution and I don't know what exactly would be the right approach. And I call on my healing master. So be creative, be playful. Now, you can also send your healing master to heal someone that you know is struggling, that you care a lot about. I've sent my healing master Cryon to many of you from time to time. And so I'm not sending my energy, I'm sending the healing master, and he's working with your healing master in many cases, or he's just facilitating you with your higher self to heal. I don't usually know or pay attention to what my healing master's doing just because I've been working with him so long that I just trust he's going to do the work and way beyond my capacity, perhaps, to even understand. So it's really letting go and trusting and being amused, waiting for the person to call and tell you. I've been working with Cryon since 1998, and Cryon continues to work with me. And since then, I've had other experiences with other masters, healing masters, but Cryon's my go to guy. Sometimes there will be new guides or healing masters that come in, depending on your level of growth and what you're ready for. So, congratulations on just creating and setting this beautiful healing space and taking a step up today. So, just imagine above your head a big ball of golden light, magnetic golden light that's calling yourself back from people and places, situations, events, calling it back from the past, calling it back from the future, calling it back from lovers and partners, children, pets, calling your energy back into this big ball of golden light. At the same time, imagine this beautiful diamond shimmering light that's coming into this ball. Shimmering, vibrant, dancing light. It's sparkling and fiery, dancing like a fiery diamond, iridescent, scintillating, sparkling. And then go ahead and allow this big ball begin to turn into this beautiful flow of light down into the top of your head, filling in the crown chakra and flowing into each of your chakras. The 7 main chakras, and then the hundreds of little mini chakras throughout your entire spirit body. Imagine this beautiful shimmering grid of diamond light that's encapsulating your entire body, your physical body. From the energetic and the spiritual level, the shimmering, scintillating light is activating memories and your superpowers buried deep within. triggering ancient memories of your soul's path. And each of these chakras are triggering and activating dormant parts of your physical body, the organs, the systems, infusing your human self and bringing it into alignment with your super soul. Allowing that brain of yours that's activated with this diamond scintillating light to send signals to the body, allowing the pulse and the flow to amplify the operational function of your physical body. And all the organs are beating in their own rhythm, much like your heart. They have a pulse. And this pulse is amplifying. This pulse, this vibration, this frequency, you being activated like a brand new born baby. Today is your renewed birthday. All of us are having a birthday today. How it should be every day: alive, magnetic, transcendent, magical. Yes, I know, we're in the 3D world here. It's not always that we have this awareness because we've separated from the truth of who we are, this love and this light. So today is your birthday, your rebirthday. Living with this incredible light and love of all creation. Or as the words that came to me in my near-death experience, as we were stepping into this fabric of all creation, which is love. Just notice this scintillating grid that surrounds you and completely embraces you. Particles are dancing within your being. This particle that we call the God spark sends into the future a line of light, and it sends a line of light into the past as you heal and reset those frequencies. As you have incarnated in this time to connect with the vast expanse of all that you are in this moment. This newest particle, the God particle within you, is alive. It's advanced technology of creation. Imagine this glowing, flowing, scintillating light completely surrounding you, becoming more complete, filling in all the spaces of the grid. So as you embrace this incredible, powerful light, I truly want to embrace you and congratulate you for coming to this point and knowing this God particle within you, this fantastic work that you've been doing. I never want this feeling to end. But you brought yourself here today, and you can come back to this place anytime. And I'm sure you don't want this sacred space to even terminate, but just very slowly, when you get the sense, can stay in this space as long as you decide. And when you're ready, you can go ahead and roll your head or your neck and your shoulders, maybe stretch. I know it's like a party that you never want to end. The sweetness of it, the stillness, the beauty. So, what are you noticing? What are you noticing in your space now? You're opening to the stars, yes? Maybe you feel like you've touched the face of God. I feel serenity. I feel joy and total excitement for what's ahead for you. As I said, this growth period will continue for some time, but embrace the wisdom and the beauty that comes with this growth period. Not all growth periods are difficult. Some of the growth periods are truly magical. And so that's my hope for you, is that you enjoy the magic and the wonder of this fiery dance of magic. Before we end this, just ask yourself, being authentically in your own power, what one word comes to mind that describes this for you, the space that you've created for yourself? What one key word describes your overall feeling right now? Describe it. Describe what you're feeling. And maybe it's more than one word. Maybe you have a paragraph to share or write. This would be a good moment to do that. I'd love to hear about it. And I'll look forward within the healing community and within spiritual people. They talk about finding their authentic self, right? But a lot of times I find that most people can't seem to find that true authentic vibration. It's not in your head. It's not in your intellect. Finding authentic alignment is an inside job. It's not anything that can be bought from taking another class. You earn it. And congratulations, you earned that point of being authentic and connecting with your authentic self. I know that when you probably joined this class, you were thinking in terms of physical or tangible things that of what you would like to manifest. And okay, that perfect relationship or a career change or the perfect school for your kid or a vacation, maybe even having better health. And we've all got our long list of things that we'd like to create and the mock ups that we could create, right? So ask yourself, how do you feel about that now in terms of manifestation? How do you feel about your abilities to manifest? Looking at all the things that have transpired and that you've begun to employ and facilitate in your world. I know it sure feels good to manifest what's in our heart and to manifest without even trying. That's where the magic comes in, right? And I know that it can feel like that sometimes, but I can promise you, you've done the work. You're continuing to do work to continue to facilitate this flow is where the magic happens and life just continues to get better and better. I look forward to talking to you and hearing all about what has been transpiring for our final one-to-one with this series. Please bring any questions that you have for me, and I'll look forward to answering those for you. And keep in mind to be gentle on yourself as you're still processing a lot. Enjoy. Blessings to you.